Okay, the ovaries look pretty good. The left side is debilitating. There's lots of metal poisoning in the left ovary. The pancreas is pretty debilitated on the left side, probably about 15% active on the right. So you have signs very much diabetic nature. You're so dry inside that your tendons are starting to buckle. It's even happening in your fingers. What that happens usually when that shrinks like that, it causes the joints to go together and causes arthritis, rheumatism, or rheumatoid arthritis. And it just starts forcing the joints to rub and grind until they become infected, deteriorating. So you need a lot of fats and a lot of meat to help regenerate cells, because right now you just keep losing more and more cells, and everything gets tighter and smaller, you know, until you're going to have, you know, a tough time, be in pain everywhere. So that's where it looks like it's leading. So you need lots of fats and lots of meats together to regenerate the cells and to lubricate everything. Are you taking a lot of supplements, anything that's causing the fat to deplete that much in the body?
Yeah, I take supplements, yeah.
Yeah, vitamin C?
I mean, just what's in the general, but not extra.
Well, that is extra.
Yeah.
So any kind of chemical is going to cause a problem, and vitamins are a problem because they're really not natural. 99% of all vitamins are byproducts of food. And what they do is they say, it's from food, extraction from food. What they've gone is found a company who has a food waste product that they can extract the waste from, but almost 99% of the extraction is solvent extraction. If they're taking it from the wheat germ, it's usually because they've made some cereal or pasta without the germ in it, but the germ's already infected and already, you know, rancid. So the vitamin E isn't even active. It's already become a solvent process where it's breaking down. So all this stuff is all hype. They're just trying to sell you their waste and saying, this will nutrify you, be extra, and it isn't. In vitamin D, they take a toxic petroleum or a toxic vegetable oil and expose it to a radioactive light or an ultraviolet light and call it vitamin D because it changes the form. Just like the vitamin E is the tocopherol from, you know, developing film, because it has a chemical structure that's similar. Here's vitamin D. Here's vitamin E. And it's really just poison. It's a waste product that's a poison. And Merck is one of the biggest offenders, you know, and they get all this publicity on these public radio stations, say, Merck, the supermarket to the world. We care about you.
Arthritis.
Yes, yeah, arthritis.
Through soy.
Yeah.
You can say that now.
Genetically, yes, and genetically processed soy, which is toxic, which not even any animal can eat without poisoning them unless it's processed. Soy is the biggest ploy. I know my father grows it. Okay, the parathyroid's in excellent shape on the right side. Left side is in very good shape. The thyroid on the left side is pretty good. Not so good on the right. You have your tonsils. Look pretty good. A little bit of scarring on this one, but it doesn't look like a surgery type scarring. It's like just deterioration scarring. I recommend that you have a lubrication formula every 36-hour pattern. You know, morning, night, morning, night. And but when you have it with 2 eggs, with 4 ounces of 4 ounces of butter, only a teaspoon of honey, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and blend that together, and have that every 36 hours. About every 7 days, I like to go through a 3-day cycle of having pineapple with either whipped cream or coconut cream.
How much pineapple?
About 4 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about maybe almost a half-inch thick circular slice.
Mm-hmm. What's that for?
Not much. Pardon? I mean, I hope that's going to help break down some of the scarring in the tendons, and then so you can start rebuilding cells in there right away. Mm-hmm. Because unless some of that scarring is removed, you're not going to be able to build cells in there. And we need to get those tendons expanded as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
How long ago did this start? Do you know?
I know. Well, I noticed that. I don't notice. I mean, I haven't been aware of it, but
mm-hmm.
I noticed that my right wrist and my right knee, it feels more like the ligaments are kind of going.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what's happening is you're just pushing together. You're starting to, every time you move, you're starting to just eat away at your joints.
Yeah.
So lots of fat with your meat, and how tall are you?
5'5".
5'5", so at least a pound a day.
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't say, about 70-75% red meat, the rest white. Without that white meat, you're not going to rebuild those tendons quickly.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to have that 30% white meat. And chicken's a little better for that. Some fish is helpful because of the high mineral content. Because there's a higher mineral content in tendons and bones and cartilage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's much more helpful. So I wouldn't do without it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's say 6 months down the line, 7 months down the line, you could have a cup of olive oil a week. So 2 ounces at a time. One day have it with red meat. 2 days later have it with, chicken. And then 2 days later have it with fish. So that basically is 6 ounces right there. And then start the cycle over again. So it's not quite a cup.
Over?
Pardon?
What do you mean to cycle over?
Start over with the red meat, having the 2 ounces with the red meat, and then the chicken, the fowl, and then the fish again. Mm-hmm. Just keep rotating like that. Mm-hmm. That olive oil will help you break down scar tissue that'll be particular for that particular meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you have lots of scar tissue everywhere in your system.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, lots everywhere. Juice, it should be 4 cups a day, a quart a day. I give you the juice formula or not?
No.
I was just about to, and then I got sidetracked. 55% celery, 30% summer squash, and 20% parsley. There looks like there might be some hemorrhaging in there, a little bit of ulcerations. Do you have any soreness in the shoulder, in the neck?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you've got open internal sores there. So make it 5% cabbage, of that summer squash. Cut it down to 25% and make it 5% cabbage, white cabbage or green cabbage, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I do it sometimes in small quantities.
You see your eyes again? Do you like tomatoes? Yeah, they would really help you, but they have a tendency to make your lips really dry and make your mouth sore and give you sores. What you can do is make a little sauce with it. You put some cheese and tomato together and put about 1/4 teaspoon of lemon per half of a medium tomato. and a chunk of cheese about inch by inch by inch, and blend it together and make a sauce. Put that on white meat, red meat, fish, anything you want. And you put a little bit of, any kind of like bell pepper in it, hot pepper, anything that you like to go in it, because that tomato is going to be pretty important for you. To soothe the skin, because you have too many signs like you're going toward rheumatoid arthritis. And tomatoes are a great reverser of that.
Really?
But also the people who have it have a tendency to get acid mouth and start breaking out all around the mouth.
Yeah.
So blending it with cheese might help prevent that.
I thought it was too acid, so that was why it's not good.
Well, it's usually what it's doing is getting out the acid minerals and the acid toxins out of the mouth area. It's not the tomato doing it directly. It's the tomato relieving the poisons out of the acid poisons out of the system. And they have to be gotten out. It's just with concentration of the cheese, minerals in the cheese, it might be able to keep it from coming out the skin and just come out through the gums and the salivary glands instead of out the mouth. The skin here.
Yeah.
It does it to me, but I have to do it. Yeah. But that's because they did the stomach surgery on, screwed me up. Formula, eventually you'll lubricate everything, but you're dry everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just a lack of fat in the tissues.
How many eggs a day?
6 to 8. But don't eat the eggs alone. For you, they might dehydrate you and dry you. Because it'll start pulling out toxic cholesterols. And then you're going to get more dry. So have them in with a smoothie and make sure that there's some extra coconut cream or butter in it. Okay.
Okay. And there's one more question I have. About 2 years ago, I got very sick and I lost my sense of smell. Is there anything I can do for that?
I've had several people who've had that, and it's taken about 1.5 years to come back, and they have lots of the lubrication formulas, and it comes back. Yours may not take 1.5 years, because most of those people were in their 60s, late 50s or 60s, so yours may not take that long.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.